The world of professional wrestling and entertainment continues to reel from the shocking death of Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea, one of the most iconic and recognizable figures in sports history. The wrestling legend, who passed away on July 24, 2025, at the age of 71, left behind a complex legacy, a grieving fan base, and now a cloud of questions surrounding the circumstances of his passing. While initial reports pointed to a heart attack as the cause of death, the story has since evolved into a tangled web of allegations, investigations, and family disputes that has fueled speculation across the globe. What began as a seemingly straightforward case of natural death has turned into an unfolding mystery. Authorities in Clearwater, Florida, where Hogan lived and eventually died, have confirmed that the case remains under active investigation. Although officials insist there is no direct evidence of foul play, the unusual circumstances surrounding Hogan's final days and the testimony of individuals close to him have kept law enforcement engaged. This has led to delays in releasing critical public records such as 911 tapes and body camera footage from responding officers, heightening suspicions and leaving many to wonder if there is more to the story than what has been officially revealed. Hogan's later years were marked by persistent health challenges. Long known for the toll that professional wrestling took on his body, he endured multiple back and knee surgeries, battled chronic pain, and was open about his declining mobility. In 2025, his health worsened further. Reports suggest he had been diagnosed with chronic lymphocytic leukemia and suffered from atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder. These conditions undoubtedly put him at higher risk for cardiovascular events, and doctors had expressed concern about his ability to withstand invasive procedures. Still, Hogan continued to undergo surgeries, including a neck operation in May 2025, which has become a focal point of the current investigation. According to accounts later shared with police, an error during that surgery may have had catastrophic consequences. Specifically, it was alleged that his phrenic nerve, which plays a critical role in controlling breathing, was damaged or even severed during the operation. The possible mishandling of this surgery has fueled claims that Hogan's death was not merely the result of natural causes, but instead could have been tied to medical malpractice. On July 24, Hogan reportedly collapsed at his Clearwater home. Accounts from witnesses indicate that he did not exhibit the classic signs of cardiac distress such as chest pain or clutching his chest. Instead, he suddenly stopped breathing. Emergency medical services were called immediately, and police arrived soon after. Despite resuscitation attempts, Hogan could not be revived and was pronounced dead. An occupational therapist who was present at Hogan's home provided a statement to police officers that has since shaped the trajectory of the investigation. The therapist suggested that the complications from Hogan's recent neck surgery, specifically the severed phrenic nerve, may have been the real trigger for his respiratory failure and subsequent death. Such an assertion, coming from a trained medical professional, immediately elevated the case beyond a routine medical incident, pushing authorities to explore the possibility of negligence or malpractice. The Clearwater Police Department has stressed repeatedly that the investigation into Hulk Hogan's death is ongoing and unusual in its complexity. Detectives are said to be meticulously reviewing medical records, interviewing medical staff who treated Hogan, and speaking with witnesses present during his final moments. They have been careful not to jump to conclusions, but their decision to withhold body cam footage and 911 recordings until the investigation is complete has only intensified speculation. According to law enforcement protocol, these materials are normally released following requests under the Freedom of Information Act. However, due to the sensitivity of the case and its potential legal implications, officials have confirmed that such records will not be disclosed until all investigative avenues have been exhausted. This lack of transparency has led many, including Hogan's daughter Brooke Hogan, to voice frustration and suspicion. Brooke, who was estranged from her father for several years prior to his death, has nonetheless become one of the most vocal figures demanding answers. In the weeks following her father's death, Brooke Hogan took to social media and later gave interviews expressing doubt about the official narrative. She claims to have received direct calls from police officials and nurses who were either present at the scene or involved in Hogan's medical care. According to Brooke, these individuals encouraged her to pursue the release of the 911 audio and police body cam footage, insisting that the evidence would change the narrative around her father's death. Brooke described these calls as courageous, noting that those who reached out were potentially risking their careers by speaking up. This, she argued, further supported the notion that there is more to the story than meets the eye. Adding to her concerns, Brooke alleged that her father may have been given improper medication during his hospital stays and that his medical privacy had been violated. She claimed to have once caught hospital staff accessing her father's records without authorization, which left her deeply unsettled. Despite her determination to uncover the truth, Brooke admits she has little legal power in the matter. As Hogan's widow, Sky Daly, his third wife, holds the authority over decisions related to his estate, medical records, and funeral arrangements. This has left Brooke feeling sidelined, even as she attempts to fight for answers. She also revealed that she offered to pay for an independent autopsy herself, though it appears the procedure was ultimately performed under official channels. The results, however, remain undisclosed. Hogan's death has also highlighted the fractures within his family. A private funeral was held on August 5, 2025, but Brooke Hogan did not attend, citing her estrangement from her father and her preference to grieve privately. Photographs later showed her visibly emotional while spending time with her husband and children in Los Angeles, underscoring the personal toll of the tragedy. Meanwhile, Hogan's son Nick Hogan has remained relatively quiet, though reports suggest he has been working behind the scenes to support Brooke in her push for transparency. The family dynamic is further complicated by Sky Daly, who continues to assert legal control over Hogan's affairs. Perhaps the most explosive aspect of the unfolding story is the growing suspicion that Hulk Hogan's death could have been the result of medical malpractice. The claim that his phrenic nerve was severed during surgery is particularly troubling, as such an injury would directly impair breathing and could indeed lead to sudden respiratory failure. If these allegations are proven true, Hogan's death might not only prompt legal action but also trigger broader questions about medical accountability, especially when treating high-profile patients. Reports indicate that the Clearwater Police Department is consulting with medical experts to determine whether negligence played a role. For now, no charges have been filed, and no medical staff have been formally implicated. However, the case's sensitive nature ensures that any findings could have major repercussions, both for Hogan's family and for the medical professionals involved. The central question remains, was Hulk Hogan's death truly a natural result of his poor health, or was it hastened by medical errors? At present, the evidence is inconclusive. The lack of public access to the autopsy results, 911 recordings, and police body cam footage leaves the narrative open-ended, fueling speculation in both mainstream media and online communities. For fans and the general public, the uncertainty surrounding Hogan's passing adds another layer of tragedy to his story. A man celebrated for his larger-than-life persona and enduring legacy in professional wrestling has left the world under a cloud of doubt and suspicion. As of now, Hulk Hogan's death remains both a personal tragedy and a public mystery. Officially attributed to a heart attack, it is nevertheless entangled in allegations of malpractice, family discord, and secrecy. The Clearwater Police Department continues to investigate, but until more information is released, particularly the autopsy findings and emergency response recordings, the true story may remain obscured. What is certain is that the world has lost a cultural icon whose name was synonymous with wrestling for decades. Whether his final chapter becomes a tale of medical negligence, mismanagement, or simply the unavoidable outcome of years of physical strain, Hulk Hogan's passing has already ensured that his legacy will be remembered not only in the ring but also in the courtroom of public opinion. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates on celebrity deaths and news updates.